are vibrational beings. You know, we're not just flesh and blood. You know, if you put anything under a microscope, an intense microscope, you can ultimately see that everything is vibration. And as the scientists are now telling us, there's information there, but it's not solid. It's always moving. So we're vibrational beings. And when we lift our vibration to what we want to experience, it happens first on a vibratory level, and then it shows up and manifests in our life. So people who are holding on to rancor, animosity, they're slowing down their vibration.
Okay.
Another way of saying is you cannot have what you're not willing to become vibrationally.
Ah.
If you do get it, you'll lose it.
Ah.
You see, this is why people, they'll win the lottery, they lose everything,
Yeah.
or they'll finally get the person they think they want to be with.
Absolutely.
They can't keep the relationship, or they'll get a modicum of success but can't hold on to it because inside they weren't vibrationally aligned. They really hadn't become it. So you can temporarily manipulate and get things, but to have it completely, you have to lift your vibration and become that in vibration. You're not really attracting things to you, you're really radiating.
Ah.
It's really a
I
radiation.
could cry right now.
It's like if I become the vibrational frequency of love, harmony, peace, and I'm radiating that,
That's the key.
it's gonna show up in my life.
That's the key.
Control of the unknown. Knowing that the only time that matters is not a past which led me to judge myself and judge others, or a future in which I have no control over, but only in the now in which I manifest to release and to let go. Today I prayed. Today I prayed to be the highest vibration of the universe, which is love, understanding, and forgiveness, holding no record of the past and no expectations for the future, just to be as love is. Today I prayed. Peace and blessings. Blessings and peace. Today I pray. It's your boy, Jormel Reese.
And with that being said, peace and blessings, blessings and peace. It's the boy Jormel Reese, and I'm thankful for y'all being able to tune in to another show, the best show on the damn planet. You know what I'm talking about? Just the thought. You know what I'm saying? Today, man, today's show is gonna be we're gonna be talking about habits and getting out of bad habits and breaking bad habits and coming from just from these environments that have us always just trapped into this locked in matrix that we experience every day. You know what I'm saying? And how to be able to break these things and try to come up out of them. You know what I'm saying? So with that being said, man, we're gonna jump into some more stuff. I'm getting ready to play the intro, and then we're gonna jump off into this subject. You know what I'm saying? Let's get it. Hey yo, peace and blessings, blessings and peace. It's the boy Jormel Reese, and I want to share my experiences with you. If I had to put my life in one word, I would have to say ridiculous, man. From growing up in one of the worst neighborhoods in St. Louis, Missouri, launching a successful music career, recording with some of the top names in the industry, and launching my own clothing line, traveling the world, discovering the power behind yoga and meditation, and how it can heal the mind as well as the body. So tune in to my show, Just the Thought. Follow the story, like the page, subscribe. Let's write the rest of the story that you've always dreamed of. Peace and blessings, blessings and peace. It's the boy Jormel Reese. See you soon. Let me do this. Yeah, man. So, man, today's show is strictly about habits, breaking habits, coming through habits, and trying to be able to learn how to be a better version of yourself. You know what I'm saying? And so some of the things that I've done to be able to try to break myself from bad habits, man, is just learning how to be able to do yoga and meditation. I think sometimes just learning how to be able to sit with yourself and really observe that you have the opportunity to grow, and stop looking at situations like it's always an attack on you or that you have to defend things. Every opportunity that you receive here is an opportunity to grow. Even from a fool, you could be able to learn. And we just got to get out of these habits of hanging around the same people, doing the same things, and thinking that we're going to get different results, because in all reality, it's just fear. It's just fear. Fear keeps you so locked in that it makes you stop going towards the thing that you know that you're supposed to be going towards. You will wake up every day and know that you're supposed to be going towards your blessing, but you will find a reason why not to go towards it because you're scared. And it's just being back in those same old habits, going back into that environment where it seems more safe at. Being safe is what everybody is really afraid of, being safe. Everybody wants to be safe. Play it safe, play it safe, play it safe. But life isn't supposed to be played safe. You're supposed to be trying to live this life every day, because you don't know when this day is over for you. You don't know when this life is over for you. It's a sad thing to think that some human beings, from based off of the habits that they have in their lives and the false beliefs that they have in their life, they'll never be able to reach their expectations, or have never reached their highest potential. They'll never reach their highest potential because they're so caught in the habit of doing the same thing. It's okay to be around people who you feel like are smarter than you. I've had to learn how to be able to get out of that thing of feeling like, man, I want to hang around people that think just like me. No, I want to hang around people who actually have an outside perspective of the way that I think. I need to be around people who are going to allow me to grow. And that's what getting around those bad habits, right? So I know one thing that kept me from being able to just straight up go to the next level, for real, it was hanging on to those relationships, hanging on to people who weren't attached to the next part of your life, hanging on to those habits. You can't get rid of your family. You can't divorce them, and you can't do this, but you hang less with them. You listen to less of their conversations, because before you know it, whether you want to or not, your subconscious is very precious. It's very precious. And it doesn't know the difference. It doesn't know the difference between about what you want and what you're doing. What you're doing when you're hanging around somebody and all they do is talk about this person and talk about that and talk about this and talk about that. And it's always this revolving cycle of the same old things. You are actually telling your subconscious in a way that you want that. And then on the other end of it, you're telling your subconscious that you're ready to manifest this and go here. And it's going to tell you, in order to be able to get to that level that you're trying to get to, you're going to have to relinquish some things. And sometimes it's relinquishing people, because your growth is new for them too. Your growth is new for them too. So they don't know how to take it. Because in the midst of you growing, they have to grow too, because it's universal law. What's happening here is that everybody is getting ready to go into the direction that they are supposed to be in. And they get out of those old habits of being able to call you. They get out of those old habits of having that old friend around that could be able to relate to those things. They get out of those old habits. They have to. Or they find someone else to be able to participate that with. And you have to be able to break those habits to get to that next level. That's what keeps us there, because we're afraid to leave the people, or we're afraid to leave what is safe to us. We love feeling safe. And at the end of the day, safe and being comfortable is just stagnant energy. You stand in the same place. And it's nothing positive about staying in the same place, all right? So with that being said, man, I'm getting ready to play another video from my man. Right now, you know what I'm saying, I've been playing a lot of, I'm like Bob Proctor out right now, you know what I'm saying? I've been like reading and going through this seminar called Born Rich. If you ever get a chance to be able to check out Bob Proctor on YouTube, man, make sure you go and check out Bob Proctor. He's one of the ancestors now. He's out of here, but man, when I talk about the information that you can hear from this this man about breaking these habits and where these things come from is just really amazing. And it's always the things that I always thought about myself, like, where did these things come from? Why do we think that since my mother has diabetes that I'm supposed to have diabetes? Why do we believe that all these things, it's a habit? Like we continue to keep on doing the same things over and over again. Why do I have to do this? Why do I have to do this because these people like that? No, you're free to be you. That is a myth. That is not real. You do not have to act like your parents or your grandparents. That is not real. You do not have the same diagnosis of food with them. The only thing that you guys have in common is you guys are passing down recipes. That's why you got diabetes and they do too. That's why you have cancer and they do too, because you're passing down recipes. It's not anything that has to do with genetics. It's not real. It's not hereditary. It's not real. What's real is we're passing down bad habits from children to children to children. Then those children become adults and then they pass it down to the other children. And it only gets worse because as time goes on, time gets worse when you got way more stuff going on. So you got the kid that used to act like this. Now you got this kid that has this habit plus has to fight the way of the world with technology and all these different type of things. So on top of the generational curse, this kid has to find themselves in the midst of chaos. And we talk about in the midst of chaos of where you could turn on a tube and try to be able to find out who you are through other people way more than you could ever be able to do that. And we're just continuing a generation of hurt people. You know, it's really hurt. What's really bad about the habits is that we find a way to cope with them. We cope with them so much that we'll be like, that's my mom. That's my brother. That's this. No. Negative is negative. Bad energy is bad energy. Like I said, you don't got to break up with them because you can't. But the thing you can do is hang less with it. So let me get off into my man Bob Proctor real quick.
Ask you a couple of questions. Have you ever wondered why you look like your relatives? Have you ever wondered why you have many of the habits or idiosyncrasies that mom and dad or grandma has? These are good questions. Have you ever wondered why you keep getting the same results over and over and over again? Have you ever asked yourself why individuals who have phenomenal education, they have degrees coming off the end of the business card, are not doing very well, while others who maybe never saw the inside of a school, earning millions of dollars and building giant organizations and doing all kinds of good all over the world. Have you ever asked yourself these questions? I did. In fact, I have spent the past 55 years asking nothing but those questions. And you know something? Seeking don't find is good advice. If you're looking for it, you're going to find it. I'm going to explain why all these things happen. I'm going to explain paradigms in such a way that a child could understand it, but I'm not going to insult your intelligence. Now let's think for a moment. Our mind controls everything. Dr. J.B. Ryan said the mind is the greatest power in all of creation. Now I have had people say to me, wait a minute, God is the greatest power. Wait a minute. God is the greatest power. The mind is the greatest power in all of creation. God being the creator, mind is the creation. Now, let this here represent your subconscious mind. And this represent your body. Do you know your subconscious mind is programmed with something called a paradigm? Do you know what a paradigm is? Paradigm is a multitude of habits. Now, a habit is nothing but an idea that is fixed here in the subconscious mind that you act on without any conscious thought. And it's our actions that produce our results. If we want to get really technical, it's the action causes a reaction. And the action-reaction alters the conditions, circumstance, and environment in our life. Now, we are programmed genetically. That's why we look like our relatives. But then after birth, we're programmed with our outside world. If you were born, let's say, in New Jersey, to an English-speaking Roman Catholic family, but you were taken to China and placed in the suburbs in a home that maybe knows nothing about English, they might be Buddhist, they might not have any religion. Do you know that you would grow up fluent in Chinese and have absolutely no knowledge of the English language? You see, whatever goes in from the outside world when we're children becomes programming. We're programmed genetically and then we're programmed environmentally. Well, at a certain age, a psychic barrier comes up here. And we develop something that's called a conscious mind. And the conscious mind has hooked up to it sensory factors. You can see, hear, smell, taste, touch. And here we have higher faculties. We have something called intellectual factors. We have perception, intuition, the will, reason, imagination, all these marvelous tools here. Now there's a power flows into our conscious mind, and we have the ability to think anything we want to think.
So I'm gonna come back to that. So at a certain age, we become at a place where we have this conscious. We become conscious of what we're doing. So what he was displaying was it was the subconscious is what we have that's already an issue, but then you have your conscious. Then what happens, you start getting these antennas out to the universe. And what happens is that now you can get the power to be able to actually start programming exactly what it is that you want to put into your subconscious. So in doing so, what happens is that you start seeing it's like a home. You know, if you don't want to grow up like this and you don't want to be treated like this anymore, and you don't want to be treated this way, you get away from them type of people and you stay away from that and you get away from it. It's like cleaning out your closet in your brain, cleaning it out. And you get a whole nother chance to actually become the person that you want to become. Not the person that you were programmed to be. You get to become the person that you want to become, not the person that you are programmed to be. You were given that program through a mother, a father, a grandmother, a cousin, or whatever this is, based off of what their perception of what they wanted and thought that you should be. Because these are the habits that are passed down. So since we got this, all of our last name is Reese. It's a passed down. It's not that it's a habit, but it's just passed down. It's tradition. So now we take on everything that comes along with that name. So now if all the Reeses have a habit of doing this, then everybody say the Reeses have a habit of doing this. And that's not absolutely true. What it is that at one particular time, you all probably were doing the same things because you were hanging around each other in the same environment. But what happens is that, and you have the same habits. But what happens is that people break off into their own little lanes, right? And you ever wonder how one of your family members started getting a certain type of way and started acting some type of way that you never even thought that they could be? It's because of habits. When they were around you, they had a certain habit. They were doing certain things. They may have been on something else. But then when they got away from you, they started doing other habits. And those habits mainly started to take over. They took over everything that person thinks about and wants to be. They've manifested another habit. So with that being said, you have the opportunity to be brand new. You have the opportunity to not let what happened to you when you were a kid be the end of your story. It can only be the beginning of your story, because everybody who ever becomes anything needs a story. You can't get to a certain level in life without having a story. You got to go through it. You know, I've had so many different things that happened to me to be able to get to the place that I'm at right now, and I'm thankful, and I'm constantly steady growing. I'm steady growing, and I never want to ever be at a place where I'm never not growing. But I had to break through bad habits of trying to be able to explain myself to people. I've learned to just be able to move on in love, and sometimes silence is the best way to be able to keep it moving, because unconditionally you just learn how to be able to move on and break from bad habits of being able to be upset about things. You learn what things are, and when you find out what something is, it's up for you to be able to accept that or continue to be upset about it. And you have choices. Because if you go up and be upset about it, you're going to continue that bad habit. Being upset about things only triggers you to keep passing it down, because that's something else that you got to heal from. And I don't want to keep ever in my life adding more things on my life to be able to heal from. I'd rather just move on in peace and love and just be that. I don't want all these other things that causes trauma. Because the more you take in and the more you get upset, that's the more time you got to sit in meditation and deal with yourself. And that's real talk. Because at the end of the day, the only person who has to deal with your depression is you. And I heard somebody say, and I don't want to mess the quote up, but they said that depression comes from being so angry at other people that you depress yourself inside. You've given up so much outside anger that you have became depressed. I thought it was a very interesting saying. So here's a little thing my man Michael Beckwin was talking about with far as like dealing with anxiety, stuff like that, you know, taking those times to be able to breathe, you know what I'm saying? Like yoga, meditation, go and find you somebody to be able to talk to. There's nothing wrong with being able to have somebody be a talking board, long as you're not taking people's energy when you're doing that. You know what I'm saying? Like you got to be able to be somebody that when you're talking to somebody and you're trying to want them to be a soundboard, make sure that you come up with solutions when you leave those situations, because coming up with solutions and then actually sticking to them, that's when you start getting the win. That's when you start being able to break those bad habits and coming up with solutions. It doesn't make any sense to argue about the same things, and it doesn't make any sense to keep talking about the same things. It's time to move on in peace and love, and that's it, man, because it takes a lot of energy to be upset with one person, man, for real. So let me put my man Michael Beckwin in here.
How do we ignore all the negativity, all the things that we're seeing? How can people cope with what's going on in the world?
Right. It's not a matter of ignoring it. It's a matter of having dominion over your attention. So what we want is a sense of peace. We want a sense of well-being. We want a sense of safety. We want a sense of security. So what I ask people to do is you think about a moment in your life where you felt secure, you felt that all of your needs were met, you felt safe, and you had a degree of peace. You just think about that moment, and you breathe into it, close your eyes, and just feel into that, and then take your next step from that feeling. And then you check in every hour on the hour, take a breath, come back to that state, and what happens is the tonic chemicals start to flow through your body temple, rather than toxic chemicals. So if in fact you take your life into your own hands and begin to stop on a regular basis, immune system is enhanced, body comes into a level of homeostasis, and you start to hear guidance, but it's not coming from the news, it's coming from your soul. And then that sense of peace, you carry it with you throughout the course of your day.
Man, I mean, beautifully said, man. Beautifully said, man. You take on that energy and you take it on through the rest of your day. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes I get even throughout my days, even now, like, you know what I'm saying? Sometimes I have to go and take a self-check. That's why I got this shirt, self-care, you know what I'm saying? Got a little self-care going on, you know what I'm talking about? But let me make sure y'all can see that when you're tripping. Self-care. We're gonna take care of ourselves, you know what I'm saying? But sometimes I have to go ahead and take me a break, man. You know what I'm saying? Like this is it's really like it's intense that we sometimes just slow down, man, really take our time and really learn how to be able to breathe into our own lives and start learning how to take our lives into our hands, man, because you don't never know how much time you got left here on this earth. And to spend your time continuing to do the same things and never be able to learn from this life, man, it's a really sad thing that some individuals end up doing. And that's why I do this show for real, to be able to let people know, like, yo, you're not promised anything here in this life, man. At any given second, you could be out of here, but any given second, you got the right to be able to change as well. I think people look at the negative so much that they miss the fact that we have the opportunity to be able to grow at any second. At any second, the energy, God, whatever it is that you want to call it, loves you so much that it will give you anything. So changing your programming and your subconscious is the absolute most best thing that you could be able to do, because you've been given that blessing from birth. You are abundance, you are love, you are light, you are all those things. I think the one thing that man misses out on is that, and I say this a lot, but I'm going to constantly repeat this because I need people to understand that you are perfect. You are perfectly, if you are made in that perfect image, then you're not a mistake. There's nothing wrong with you. You are perfect. The problem is that man in the flesh finds something wrong with and finds imperfections. That's the judgment of ourselves. That's the stuff that we, even too, that's the beginning. That's just the fuel. But questioning yourself is not something that you should do. That's a bad habit. Knowing that you have the right to be loved at any given moment is your birthright. It's your absolute birthright. You do not have to act like you're not perfect. You are perfect. I'm here to tell you, if nobody ever told you in your life that you are perfect, you are perfect. You are perfectly fine exactly where you are right now. Everything that I ever went through was a blessing. From the times I've been held up at gunpoint, from the times I've been homeless, from the times I've been without, everything was absolutely perfect, because I wouldn't have never been able to be the person that I am right now at this moment, to be able to talk to you about it, to let you understand that no matter what goes on, that you are love and you are light. All right. So with that being said, man, my time is up. It's 8 o'clock, man. I just love doing this show every week with y'all, man. It's always a blessing. And I appreciate all y'all comments. You know what I mean? I don't be getting a chance to be able to reply a lot, but I appreciate them. I apply after I, you know what I'm saying, get off show. But man, I'm thankful for everybody, you know what I'm saying? And I see y'all next week. We gonna get this thing going. And oh yeah, you know I ain't leaving y'all without a video, you know what I'm saying? So what we gonna do today? What we gonna do? We gonna take them now. We gonna play a little mugwort, man. So hey yo, peace and blessings, blessings and peace. It's the boy Jarmel Reese in real life, not in fake life, because they just faking about their life, boy. Like my kids will tell you. Peace.
Today I prayed. Today I prayed to get rid of all my selfish ways, Today I prayed to release control of the unknowing, knowing that the only time that matters is not a past which led me to judge myself and judge others, or a future in which I have no control over, but only in the now in which I manifest to release and to let go. Today I prayed. Today I prayed to be the highest vibration of the universe, which is love, understanding, and forgiveness, holding no record of the past and no expectations for the future, just to be as love is. Today I prayed. Peace and blessings. Blessings and peace. Today I pray. It's your boy, Jormel Reese.
Spiritual high, y'all gon' think it's Illuminati, but I'm on one. Yeah, it's like I'm on one. Yeah, hey man, I just left myself. I'm trying to see myself. I just seen myself. Now I'm trying to meet myself. It's like I'm on one. Yeah, it's like I'm on one. Hey man, I just seen my Annie, I just seen my granny. They both just looked at me and they told me they proud of me like I'm on one. Y'all gon' think I'm on one. I've been feeling the paranormal vibe. I'm on spiritual high. Too much mugwort. Left my body now as you fly. I'm flying, astro fly. I'm flying, astro fly. Yeah. I'm flying, astro fly. I'm flying, astro fly. Yeah. I'm flying, astro fly. I'm flying, astro fly. Yeah. I'm flying, astro fly. I'm flying, astro fly. Hey man, I came down on this planet and addicted to this planet. I know I got a purpose. I don't take my life for granted like I'm on one. Y'all gon' think I'm on one. Hey man, you need to find yourself. Don't listen to no one else, cause they gon' steer you wrong from what they heard from someone else. It's like I'm on one. Yeah, y'all gon' think I'm on one. Yeah, I got my own mind, I got my own vibe, and right now I'm taking off. I think I wanna fly. It's like I'm on one, but y'all gon' think I'm on one.